It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Kwanzaa?
No, it's the Rocket and Raygun Awards. Boy, you make my blood boil.
We are starting something new with the Rocket and Rayguns this year. If you've been watching them for the last few days, you know that we're doing this Sweet 16 style bracket, and we're pitting games against each other, and we've got a ridiculously difficult one to do right now. This is The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds going up against Grand Theft Auto 5. Good luck, Marissa.
Oh my God. Okay, so I think everyone thinks I'm going to choose the cuter version, the cute game.
Trevor is cute.
But no, Trevor's not cute.
He is.
Well, I'll be.
But I'm still going to choose Grand Theft Auto 5 because it felt really good to be bad.
Yeah.
It felt really good to be bad, and I suppose I shouldn't say this, and I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching. I really enjoyed being bad in this game, and I don't know why, and I didn't go to all the places that were awful where you could have sex with people. I didn't do any of... Raju did. I know Raju did.
Sex with everyone in Saints Row 4.
I didn't do any of that. I stayed away from it, but I just really enjoyed, God, just stealing cars and driving
Even
everywhere.
the torture scenes and stuff?
No, I didn't like those things.
Okay,
I'm trying to omit those things from my experience.
I'm talking about Zelda, of course, the torture scenes. Jose, how about yourself, my friend?
Well, the strip clubs in Low Rule were even better than they were in High
It does get a
Rule.
little skanky in there, doesn't it?
It's a rare occasion that we get a new GTA game. You know, that they only come every few years. It's not something we get every year. So
They're already working on Grand Theft Auto 6
yeah,
right
they say
now.
that
We
Grand
know.
Theft Auto 5 is going to fit inside of a snow globe within the world of Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's depressing.
That's mind-boggling stuff to think about. But there's just something about this version of Zelda that takes me back to why I loved video games so much growing up, and why I still love video games to this day. It's good to see Link back in that traditional world of Hyrule that we saw back in the day on the Super Nintendo, and I'm glad he's back, and that's why I'm giving him a vote.
Okay, Sean, what do you say?
This, again, is a very tough one, and
Yes,
as
it
much
is.
as I like The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, I have to say Grand Theft Auto 5 is the kind of game that I can go into if I only have a half hour and mess some have a good time, try to steal some helicopters. I love that there's just so much to do within this game.
Yeah.
And with Zelda, you're playing Zelda, so...
It too it's an
You're playing Zelda.
It too is its own variation on an open world game. Of course, you're scrolling across screens, but there's a lot of sandbox type discovery in Zelda. And what's so beautiful about this new Zelda game is that it does strip it all away, and it does say, you know what, fun is the most important thing. And I think there are big chunks of Grand Theft Auto 5 where you are searching for fun.
Yeah.
And I also feel like the best open world experience that Rockstar put together in that previous generation was Red Dead Redemption, which really challenged our viewpoint and really made us care about somebody that had some virtue. And none of these characters in Grand Theft Auto 5 are worth our time. What do you think?
Thanks for calling on me.
All right.
I appreciate it.
You're
You know,
welcome.
there's two moments I want to talk about. I was driving recklessly one day. I ran over a fire hydrant in GTA 5.
Yes.
And a woman walking by turns her head and looks at me, and she stops and she puts her hands on her hips, then she keeps walking. What an amazing engineering feat.
Absolutely.
That everybody responds to everything you do in this game. But just like I think you put it so well, this is one of your most articulate moments on the show ever, and I've been working with you for decades now, right?
Every once in a while I wake up. The Great Bear wakes up.
Stripping Zelda down to its essence is absolutely the right way to go after years and years of layering on new technology, trying to go further, making the worlds more ridiculous, more ornate, adding Wii motion controls, which I had to suffer through to enjoy my beloved Skyward Sword.
Right.
Paring it down to its absolute essence is the right thing, and it just reminds us why we love this game and this series so much.
Throne from Nintendo. This was Nintendo saying, oh yeah? Take that.
Also,
and it's amazing.
I love how Rovio just moves into Link's house. He's like, I'm just here. If you want to buy stuff, I'm setting up a shop in your house.
All right, so what do we have here so far? We have 3 votes for Zelda and 2 votes for Grand Theft Auto 5. Steve, my friend.
Well, I mean, I agree. Zelda is a great homage, a great throwback to the Zeldas of old. But I think we're getting a little too nostalgic. I mean, the game has got to stand on its own merits, which it does. It's a fantastic adventure. But we can't just say that it makes me feel so good because it's like the Zeldas I used to play when I was a kid. Well, not everybody played the Zeldas when they were kids.
So this is new to them.
So I mean, it's fantastic. Look, I hate that these two games are going up against one another another because they're so different. But when it comes to Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean, Marissa's right. It feels bad to be good sometimes, and I disagree. I think
It's good to be bad.
it feels good to be bad sometimes. It's bad to be good sometimes.
And that's
I hate
kind
being
of,
good.
it's truthful for Grand Theft Auto 5, right? I mean, because of the success of that franchise, there's been lots of games where we play these terrible people, but you can make an exception to that feeling tired on this kind of stuff, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is that exception. It's so well made.
What I loved about this was the three characters. And actually, I played Michael and Franklin as generally good guys. I tried not to commit too much mayhem as those guys. But Trevor was my outlet. When I wanted to just screw around and kill stuff, I jumped into Trevor, and I felt like because that was Trevor's character, you know, he's an insane, psychopathic Canadian meth head. That was the guy I wanted to be when I wanted to just go mess stuff up. So I liked the three characters. I liked the intertwining of the stories, and the world just blows me away.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your moment. Please don't make me ruin all the great work your plastic surgeons have been doing.
Grand Theft Auto is an undeniable
The
achievement.
tally is tied right now, so it's up to Raju right now to decide
This is the moment.
which one goes forward, my friend.
You know what? I think I have to go with Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, I think that the non-linear storytelling absolutely was something that was new and interesting, but I also think that the bigness of the world, the technical achievement. I agree with you, Vic, in that I hated these guys.
Yeah.
But
They become exhausting after a while, you know. Oh, it's another cop
But you know
chase.
what? Now that the multiplayer is working, I have a crew. I'm doing heists with some buddies, and that is actually where I'm getting the most amount of joy out of this game right now. I do think that Rockstar, for what they do, they are artisans.
Yeah.
I do think that, you know, they are good at telling bad stories. I wish perhaps, you know, maybe they had some more hero worship, or they wanted to find some more virtuous heroes as well.
Terrible people like this. In the
There
world.
are.
And there's something to be said about the value for this industry that the sales of Grand Theft Auto 5 really signify, you know? I mean, I think that there's a value in Zelda for us as already pre-built install-based fans, and that's why I think Zelda resonates the way it does, but Grand Theft Auto 5 is important for the future of our business.
The fact that we can say a video game was the fastest selling entertainment property in history.
That human beings have created.
Is a good
Yes.
thing.
Employed for another year.
So congratulations, Grand Theft Auto 5. You move forward.
Our next face-off is Super Mario 3D World against NBA 2K14. Now, Mario was in a very cool basketball game, but not as cool as NBA 2K14. Vic, what are you going to go with?
This is definitely a Mario game for me. I mean, the Mario gets this pick. As much as I'm playing and addicted to 2K14 on next gen, there is something irrefutably charming and addictive. That pull in this latest Mario title is unquantifiable. It's such a beautiful escape into a world that we desperately need in video games, and it's Nintendo firing on all cylinders again.
All right, Marissa, how about you?
Well, as much as I love a sports game, moving on to this bracket, that's pretty cool. I can't go with basketball, unfortunately. And I loved Mario so much. Sean and I gave it a 10 for a reason, because it's so fun to play. It's so fun. It's so light. It's fluffy because you're a cat. I mean, you're climbing up walls. And even the multiplayer is fun in this, too. It's fun to compete with friends. If you have them, you can bring them on over
This will
and
help
play
you
this
make
game.
them.
Well, I feel like I was competing a lot with this game, too, and we were fighting.
Oh, for
playing
sure.
This game, yeah.
Scott, you did not go with Mario the last
I
round.
didn't go with NBA either.
Yeah, so
This
what
is
are you
the
going with here?
raspberries round for me. You know what? I'm disappointed that we're talking about another Mario game. We're talking about a sports sequel. How is this one of our final brackets? That kind of breaks my heart. Where's the originality?
Have you played these two games?
I have played both
They're
of these
both
games.
incredible
They are
games.
fine, but you know what? They are not.
What? They're not Grand Theft Auto 5, which is the 5th of the Grand Theft Auto games.
You told me, my therapist, I told her I wouldn't yell anymore at you.
okay.
So I crossed the line.
I'm his therapist.
You know, I guess Mario, I don't know. I guess of the two, that's the least offensive.
You can write that on your
Wow.
box, Nintendo.
But listen, The Last of Us spoiled me this year,
Right.
and it was so incredible and so mind-blowing and so boundary-pushing. And, you know, even GTA 5, I felt like had a lot more artistry. The social commentary, you've made this comment a couple times now, and you're absolutely right. So few games try to say anything about the actual world we live in.
Yeah.
Here are, you know, two games. I mean, most of the NBA players are terrible people. You know, Mario, there's a cat suit. Like, what is this? Like, this is a depressing bracket for me. But of the two games, Mario, I guess. Okay, move on.
All right, Raju, let's hear from you.
I kind of agree with Scott in the sense that it is bad that there's two sequels here. But you know what? I think Super Mario 3D Land is saving Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, and it is a great game. Well, I mean, it got me back to my Wii U, and it is a really, really fun game. I do agree that with NBA 2K14 showing off some of that next-gen goodness, and we need more of that. But of the two, I've been enjoying Super Mario 3D World more. So
because they all kind of blur together.
All right, Jose.
Well, any game that can cause Derrick Rose to be injured and take him off of my bench just ruins. I mean, it takes away the nostalgia. I don't want to have to deal with that. It saddens me. No, but 2K14 looks fantastic. It's great as a next-gen launch title as well. But I mean, yeah, come on, it's Mario. You know, it's a fresh feel for Mario. It's good to see him.
Is it fresh?
It's Powerhouse Mario, though.
It is.
It's not
This
the
isn't cookie cutter, like,
and it's
oh,
not the
this isn't-
2D Mario, which I think
It's
is
not
a
a
little
sports Mario.
as fun as the 2D ones are. They're a little deflating because they
this- I
feel
mean,
like that's
this-
30 years of legacy.
I
This
have 800 one-ups right now.
well, this isn't an especially difficult game, but holy crap, is it fun?
I'm going to give my nod to Mario because I don't like LeBron James and his hairline.
No votes.
No votes for NBA. The guy who looks most like a basketball player on this panel is up next, Steve Tilley.
Well, of course, I'm going to be the dissenting vote. No, I'm not. I love the fact that NBA 2K14 is the game that when you're playing it and somebody walks in the room, they're like, "Oh, what game is on? You know, who's playing?" It looks like a live telecast of a basketball game. And I think the next gen consoles need that because moving to the next generation, I don't think we saw the leap in graphic fidelity that we saw from the PS2 to the PS3 or the Xbox 360. So we need games like this that kind of justify all that hardware in the next gen machines. But as a game, Super Mario 3D World was you enter each world you enter is offering something new, and it's like a machine that spits out a new toy every 20 minutes, and the toy is different from the last toy, and it's awesome to play with.
Katsu.
It's just
Go to sleep. Holidays. Holiday blow dart.
I was feeling bad for Nintendo going into this holiday season with Sony coming out with the PS4, Xbox with the Xbox One, thinking,
feeling
my
bad?
God,
Really?
yes, the Wii U is going to be dead. And then this game comes out, and it's all of a
Still
sudden,
dead.
Wii U has a lot of life left in it. For me, Mario has always been a holiday game. You know, I would get a Nintendo system for Christmas, and I would play the hell out of a Mario game, whatever Mario game came with it. And we haven't had that in a few years.
Totally.
The Wii didn't have that. The GameCube didn't have that off the top. And now it feels like the Wii U finally has its proper Mario game.
It's Christmas.
And it is totally Christmas.
Yeah.
I am a kid again. I am the kid who's like, Nintendo 64! that guy is...
Don't feel bad. They're okay. They'll be fine.
I will no longer feel bad about Nintendo, especially since they are going on to the next round in the Rocket and Rayguns. Congratulations, Super Mario 3D World. We will be back with more reviews on the run after this.
Rocket and Raygun Award for Best Sports Game goes to NBA 2K14.